Hello. Wait, it's not a week. I need coffee. Be right back. Oh, it took a little longer. So I saw Hannah at the coffee place. Something I'm working on. I'll show you later. What up, friends? Welcome back to BenT. That was pretty elaborate for an intro, but it is what it is. I am just days away from moving, and I've been reflecting back a lot on life in general, I guess, and things that I've learned this year. And I've been ranting a lot. Let's start over. So, I don't know where I'm cutting this in, but essentially what it boils down to is I've got three things I want to talk about. And they're stories and maybe not stories, just information on what's going on and what I'm doing and what's going to happen when I get back. And I don't know what's going to happen when I get back. But that's one thing people keep asking me is, what are you going to do when you get back? And I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm going to do when I get back. And it's partially a scary thought, because part of me is like, I can jump straight back into IT, deal with everything that I've dealt with before, and not enjoy it anymore. Or I can try and find something new and be happy at what I do, and be happy at a job. Be happy like when I first started working, where I was excited about it and happy to help people, not, sitting there like, I don't know why I'm doing this, because it seems pointless. And it's just that thought where companies nowadays are so far down the hole of not caring about what needs to be changed and willing to make the change, that you're always stuck just skating by. Because most companies nowadays want to keep costs low, have their workers work as much as possible, and bring in as much money as possible. So, if that means you being salaried, putting in 60 hours a week, that's great. Some companies recognize that, other companies don't, and other companies don't appreciate or care that you put in that much time. And in my mind, this has been in my head since the January 2007, was I don't need to put in extra effort for a company that's not going to recognize that effort. Is where my head was at back in 2017. And so I kind of stopped. I stopped putting in those extra hours because it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth my time. It wasn't worth stressing out over making sure that things were going to run properly or do everything that was needed. It was just like, that's just going to be late. And that's the mentality I got into, which honestly is a very bad mentality when it comes to working. That's not the way it should have been. It should have been this thing where it's like, I'm okay doing this because it needs to be done, and I get recognized for that. I get recognized for the fact that I've been putting in 50, 60 hours a week. I get recognized for the fact that, we're going above and beyond to make sure that everything is smooth and seamless for, whoever we are potentially affecting. And none of that was ever recognized. It was just like, oh, great job. Let's go to lunch. And then you sit there at lunch, and that's about it. And no one says anything. No one really does anything, everyone's like, job well done, move on to the next thing. Great, thanks. And then you run into very, very crappy scenarios where you have to deal with certain people that drive you insane, and they're people who want things done their way, and when you try and show them why that doesn't make sense, or try to work with them to say, hey, let's try and get this working in a certain way so that it makes sense to future-proof things, and they don't care about that because they want to get their project done and in the light of their managers, that way they can get recognized for the improvements that they've made. And the hard part is when working in IT is that you do a lot of stuff in the back end. A lot of stuff that you do is not recognized, it's not seen, other than, my computer's still working and yada yada yada, I can get to my data. The thing that always gets IT is when it breaks. When it breaks, the whole thing just goes awry and everyone's on your ass, like, what the hell is going on? Like, why isn't this working? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, things happen and we'll fix it, right? But it's always those things that jump out more at the business, and they always look at IT as a cost center, which, yes, it is technically a cost center, but it's a cost center to make sure that your business is running and operational in this day and age, because without IT, most businesses are not going to function or succeed, because you just need those things nowadays. And businesses need to realize that. Businesses need to stop sitting there thinking IT is a value add to me. It's like, no, it's not a value add, it's a necessity. It's a cost that you're going to incur every year, and if you don't cater to it and take care of it the way it needs to be taken care of, it's going to fall apart, and you're going to get to a point where it's just going to crumble under you. Or you're going to drive your employees insane because you're asking them to support things that need to be just phased out and upgraded, and you're unwilling to put up the expense for that because you're wanting to be cheap. And it's, I don't know, we always joke about living the American dream, and right now that's just the American dream. It's being overworked, it is underappreciated, it's the inequality in pay. Not saying that I didn't get paid well, but just from conversations with other people, I sit there and I'm wondering, you and I started at the same time, and the pay gap is just ridiculous. And that's just silly, because I've seen it. And I have someone I started with at the same time, way back when, in 2010, maybe a month apart. And she changed several positions and did different things, and she made significantly less than I did, which was just absolutely silly in my mind. Like, I thought we were somewhere on par, but yeah, no, significantly less, and it's just crazy. And I don't know, I keep going back to, I understand that IT is going to pay my bills and do all that stuff, and I should stop bitching and moaning about it and just do the job. But I don't know, in my mind, life's more than just living paycheck to paycheck, which is what I've been doing for the last 7 years. And I just need to change. And I've been changing. I've been trying to do a lot of change lately, where I'm trying to be more creative. And I know I wholeheartedly admit most of my videos lately have been kind of garbage, because it's just a recording, not really edited, maybe some snippets here and there. And I just haven't had the time to put towards it or think about what I actually want to do and put out. And I need to take that time to sit there and do something better with it and create more with it, and actually sit down and do some creative videos where it's just, this is an idea I had, this is what I want to do, let's run with it and do it, kind of deal. And we'll see. Hopefully I get there, but it's going to take time, because I have to get back, reestablish myself, and figure out how to make money moving forward, while also trying to be happy is the biggest part. And I've tried to be happy. I've tried to make changes to be happy, and obviously going to the gym, and you've probably seen it through the progressions of videos of losing weight and just, building muscle and all that stuff, and even just feeling better, feeling stronger, feeling more stamina. And again, I've gone through these up and downs with fitness, and I'm on the up right now, and hopefully I can stay on the up when I get back. That's one of my concerns, is I shouldn't spend money right away until I get myself established. So working out, I need to figure out a routine to either do stuff at home on my own, which I could do with Body Flow, but having to do Body Flow daily, and doing other things, running outside, whatever it is. I need to find something to do when I get back. And that's part of it. It's just change. And it's funny because the reason I started going to the gym way back in the day was because of Dan. He dragged me there, and I've told that story, and it's funny because it's like, in my head, even before I started going to the gym with Dan, I remember talking to this girl back in high school where it was like, you should do this, this, and this, and like try and be more fit or more, attractive, essentially. And that's part of why I went to the gym, was to try and make myself more attractive physically to girls. And it's kind of funny because then in college, after doing all that stuff and being at my peak, being at probably, I wouldn't say it's my lowest weight, but my best weight and my best physical physique, that's when I learned that everyone has their own opinions on things. And this girl I was really interested in at the time, she just straight up told me, she was like, hey, you're a really great guy, I really enjoy spending time with you, all this stuff, but I'm just not physically attracted to you. And that was that. And it was like pretty much devastating, because it's like, even after all that work and all that time, it's just, it doesn't necessarily always work out because just we all have our own opinions on things, and that's fine, and that's what makes us human. And we as humans suck because we can't agree on things and be happy with things. Like me right now, I can't just be happy with things. I'm just trying to figure out what to be happy with, and which leads me into going to the gym this year and kind of stepping out of my comfort zone and actually saying hi to a girl at the gym. Just like, and in my mind I'm like, I always feel bad about it, because it's like, we're all at the gym, we're all there to do our thing, work out, no one wants to be like hit on and all that stuff, and I wasn't going into it with intentions of hitting on her. It was just more of saying hi and getting to know her. And it took me 4 weeks to say hi to her, because I am just a huge coward when it comes to talking to pretty girls. And it took a while, but then Hannah kept pushing me, like, you should say something. And then the anxiety kicked in, where it was like, yeah, I guess I could say something. And it's like, I don't know, we could have zero in common. She could be a total crazy person. She could, just listing all these things that could potentially lead to not working out, and just ignore the situation. But you never know until you never know, right? So I finally said hi, and she really liked the shirt I was wearing at the time. And talking to her later, apparently me wearing my funny shirts is really diffusing to make me seem like a very harmless person, which I am mostly harmless. I say mostly harmless because I'm one of those where it's like, if you really, really piss me off, I really, 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 I don't know if I would, but I have wanted to punch a lot of people in the faces lately because of how they stress me out. But anyways, aside from that, but yeah, then she ended up being really cool, and me being an idiot, just, I fall for people way too quickly, in my opinion, and it's because, in my opinion, I'm super, super picky when it comes down to girls and dating. And like, when I talked about the things where it's like maybe all these things would not pan out, she just ended up being super cool. having a lot of similar interests, being slightly weird in ways that I'm weird, thinking about things that, I don't know, most people don't think about, like zombie apocalypse and what to do in scenario X, Y, and Z. She had a boyfriend, and so I should have moved on from that, and I was a dope and didn't, but it is what it is. And I still value her as a friend, and that's where it's at. So I'm not going to go in and try and steal some dude's girl, because that's happened to me, and it sucks. It super sucks. It's getting dark. Holy crap. It's going to rain. But anyways, I mean, that's just it. It's just, the lesson from that is you never know until you never, or you never know until you know. And so taking chances isn't always bad. I mean, there's so many millions of variables that could have happened there. I could have said hi, she could have been like, whoa, you're weird, get away from me, kind of deal. Again, scenario, you just never know. But I ended up making an awesome friend out of the situation. And so just say hi. You never know what could happen. And you never know that if you say hi to somebody, what that could mean to them. You know, it could just be like oh wow, someone's acknowledged me, or, you know, the flip side would be there we go again, kind of deal. But you never know. And as long as we're all kind and nice to each other, then we shouldn't ever get to that second scenario. It should always just be this thing where we can be friendly, and just the state of the world today is rough, and I don't want to get too far into it, but essentially my advice here is to just say hi and be nice to everyone. Try to be nice to everyone. Give everyone the benefit of the doubt until they screw you over, which is good and bad advice, because it's like, why wait to be screwed over? Why not just avoid the scenario the entire time? But anyways, I'm just rambling. I'm going to continue drawing now, and show you at the end of the video what I drew. I'm gonna color it. There you go. Majestic AF. That's what we're trying to be. Anyways, thanks for watching. I know I rambled a bit for a while on things. Maybe it didn't make sense, but that's the way my brain works. So, thanks for watching. I'll have some time lapses of packing the place up and all that stuff. Keep you guys entertained while I'm on the road, because starting Saturday I will be driving from Chicago to LA and then home to Arizona with my buddy Matt, driving Route 66.